Hey, what's happening guys? I'm ika.himee and welcome to my channel. So I'm going to start this video off with a little bit of an update. As you can see here, I am working on a page from the Dragon Maid Doujin that I am working on with my studio. I'm working quite diligently on that, but that is unfortunately not the only project that I have with a deadline this year. So I am also working on my original manga Belladonna in the meantime, so I'm actually quite busy this year. So unfortunately I will most likely be cutting back the videos to only once a week instead of twice a week, with the exception of a couple days here and there, because I do actually want to get the Doki Doki Literature Club videos up in a relatively short time between each other, so you're not like waiting a super long time. However, I don't really have a lot of guarantees. Mostly the way that I'm going to post the videos is going to depend on how much video backlog I actually have. So if I don't have a lot of videos planned, then you'll probably only get one video a week. And if I have a lot of videos ready to go, then you might get an extra one. It really just depends on all that. But I'm quite busy working on this, and I've honestly done very little aside from working on just manga and comic stuff. So I decided to record this because I had to work on it anyways, and I haven't officially shown you guys any form of my real comic process. I've shown you guys some of my just doodle comics and stuff for my draw sessions, but I haven't actually shown you a legitimate page, me working on one of those. So I decided that I would actually show you that, and I definitely have to say that working on comics and stuff, especially, you know, such bigger projects, has been a learning experience, and there are a lot of things that I don't really know. There are a lot of things that I'm learning as I go, and it's really that's all it is, and that's why I'm starting with such small projects. First off, like my 16-page mini manga, and now this doujin, which will be a bit longer than that, but it's still relatively short. And then we get to my my first manga, which is a one-shot. So I'm starting off small and working my way up because I do want to be able to do a decent job on my manga and stuff like that. And I'm really trying to learn as much as I can before I dive into much longer term projects, because I do have some very long term projects planned, and I don't want to get into that if I'm really not ready for that, and if I feel like I don't know enough to be able to maintain any level of consistency. And while I know that working on comics is the best way to go about it, and inevitably you're going to improve, like any mangaka you see, if you read their work for a long time, the first manga is going to look completely different from the last one, because there's just so much improvement happening. But I mean, aside from my stylistic choices, I really want to keep them very similar and just improve them. So I'm trying my best to work really hard to study the mangaka that I enjoy, to see, you know, how they work on their manga pages, how they set them up, how they tone them. I'm a huge fan of traditionally done manga, and unfortunately I don't have the supplies or workspace to be able to do any traditional manga, so I am stuck with digital for the time being. And I think that, you know, ultimately I will probably always stick with digital because it is convenient and also cheaper in the long run, because I won't have to keep purchasing screen tones. However, you know, I know that there are ways around that, and you can actually make your own screen tones. So maybe in the future I will try and do a traditional manga, because I really do love those very much, but I just don't have the resources to do that right now, so I do just work on them digitally. But I do try my best in a lot of cases to kind of follow the traditional rules and how a lot of the traditional manga looks. So a lot of it is very flat. I am a huge fan of clamp artwork, so a lot of their toning is very minimalistic, and they rely heavily on their inking for most of their stuff, which is kind of what I want to do with my manga. And as you can see, I actually have 3 panels on this page, but only 2 of them are outlined. That's kind of a stylistic choice. Another mangaka that I really enjoy, they do this kind of semi-paneled style, so while they do use a lot of panels, they also exclude panels or use like implied panels, which is what that one in the middle kind of is. So I think that's something that will probably continue to be incorporated into my style, because I do enjoy that, and I find that just having so many blocks is a bit too structured for me, and I feel like it's too confining. So I will try my best to like work with it, and I'll expand it, and I'll figure out my own real style as I go. But for now, I'm really enjoying working with panels this way, so it will probably be this way for a while until one day I decide that I don't like working that way, but for right now I'm enjoying it, so that's how it's going to be. This doujinshi, I'm working hard to have it printed and ready to go by Raleigh SuperCon, which is in July, so hopefully I will have this done before then. I do have a very packed schedule and a lot of things that I'm trying to work on at the same time, so please bear with me on that. I am really doing my best. Also, I have recently opened commissions because I will need the funds to be able to do these projects, because there are things that I want to have made, and these books are going to be quite a large investment, especially when it comes to Belladonna, because I will have to get the copyrights and the ISBN numbers and all of that stuff, and that stuff is not really cheap, so I will need to have the funds for that. So yeah. But I mean, really basically this is all that I have for this video. I will try and post videos as much as I can. However, you know, obviously they're going to slow down a bit, but I hope that you enjoyed watching this video, and maybe it inspired you to work on your own comics and manga. And thank you guys so much for watching. All the links to my social media, shop, and Patreon are in the description box below for you guys. Please go check those out, and feel free to subscribe if you want to be updated on all of my content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!